subscribe Premium Learning's YouTube channel and click the bell icon to receive updates about videos for your career growth. Hello friends, so today's question is, what is multi-tenant architecture? This is one of the questions which is asked in most of the Salesforce admin and business analyst interviews. They want to understand whether you understand the concept of governor limits or not, and what is the reason of implementation of governor limits, because many of the times you need to explain this concept to your client, right? So let's try to understand what exactly it is. So before to explain these things technically, let me give you an analogy which can give you more clarity about what do you mean by a multi-tenant architecture. So what do you mean by a tenant? For example, there is a building and we are having multiple tenants over there who are living in this society, and there is a shared resource, for example a tap, and these tenants require water and they want to use this particular tap to get the water in these buckets, and this particular tenant wants 10 liters of water, another tenant wants 25 liters of water, and the third one wants 5 liters of water. Basically all these tenants living in this society want to use the shared resource which is a tap. What if the individual tenants requires 10 liters and 5 liters of water are in the queue, and also there is a person who only requires 5 liters of water? Who will be suffering the most? The last guy. Why? Because one of the person is trying to monopolize the resources, and these two people might suffer until and unless the owner of this building, he decides and makes certain rules. What are those rules? He says that only one person can go and get 5 liters of water, and then he need to stand in the queue again. Another person only gets 5 liters of water, then he needs to get into the queue again. Another person gets 5 liters of water and then he can move out. But this tap will function very efficiently. In microseconds he will provide you 5 liters of water. If this is the scenario, then no tenant will complain about this scenario. If it is the service is getting in microseconds, then they won't have any issues regarding this services. So this is the basic concept of this multi-tenant environment architecture. So let's see what exactly this means technically. So we have this whole Salesforce ecosystem, the society, the building where we all resides in. This is the different type of people who are using Salesforce ecosystem, and they are using a set of servers, shared resources. If any one of them tries to monopolize the resources, other people will suffer heavily. So what Salesforce people have done, they have created certain limits, certain rules which can help you to utilize this Salesforce ecosystems and the shared resources very efficiently. This particular set of limits are called as governor limits. These are the limits imposed by Salesforce to avoid monopolization of shared resources on the Salesforce cloud. For example, in developer org, there are a lot of governor limits, and it is totally dependent on the type of org, type of sandbox you are using. So in developer org, I'm just giving 3 different governor limits. You can only have 500 fields per object. You cannot fire more than 100 SOQL queries per transaction. You cannot have more than 50 active workflows per Salesforce object. There are a lot of limits. You don't have to remember everything, but I will recommend you to read the governor limit PDF, at least the shorter one, so that you will have a very good idea when you are developing your application. You can make use of this information. Whenever you are answering the questions, my friends, always give a business scenario, if possible an analogy, if possible multiple examples to give the interviewer a proof of this answer. So see you in the next video. All the very best.